I'm about to mount the skirting boards onto the walls, but it's not as easy as or simple as just gluing them, or which I will be gluing them or screwing them onto the wall. There is a bit of a trick to it, and let's have a look and I'll explain why that there's a little bit more to it than just gluing it or screwing it onto the board. This is a cross-sectional view of what the skirting board looks like sitting on top of the laminated floors, which is sitting on top of the felt bit. In normal situations, this is all fine because the skirting board will actually keep the laminated boards securely in place, and so that they don't move around, so they don't lift up. But if you recall, our internal frame is sitting on high density rubber, so that any vibrations onto the wall from music, noise, sound is not transferred onto the concrete. Now, if we, like you can see the example here, this is not mounted, it's just sitting there. If we screw our skirting board onto the wall, as we see here in this example, that means our wall is now connected to the concrete via the skirting board, because the skirting board is touching the laminated boards and onto the ground. So the whole purpose of spending all that effort putting the rubber underneath the frames is voided, useless, because the sound will just transfer straight down. Now, to go about it, what we need to do is have the skirting board lifted up so that there is no connection between the skirting board and the laminating board. Now that actually can cause another problem. That means the skirting board is no longer holding the laminating boards down. They can lift up, move about. So how do we solve this problem? Well, I found a solution, and I hope this will help you as well. So I did some research and looked around the hardware shop and found these. These are door sills that you can put them around doors and windows for weather. It says it seals out rain, heat, cold, dust, and noise and insects out. There's several types of them, but this is the type I thought was the best to use because it has, they're joined together, but you can separate them. It has this type of rubber, very soft rubber. It's sort of like a P-shape, and that's what they call a P-shape thing. So this will actually get stuck on at the bottom of the skirting with a double-sided sticky tape that it comes with. So it will have gentle pressure onto the skirting boards, stopping them from moving about too much and being lifted, but at the same time have enough felt in there so that vibrations don't transfer through from the skirting board to the floor. So let's have a quick look. This is one of the skirting board pieces that's going to be used. So basically, just going to peel this glue or the double-sided tape seal and stick it under there as such. And now when the skirting board is mounted, you can see that rubber bit, it will just gently sit on there like that without any pressure down as it gets glued onto the wall. As you can see, now that P-shaped rubber bit will actually keep the floor still onto the ground, but any vibrations onto the wall and the skirting will have less transfer onto the floor. And I hope that makes sense. And this is an important step that we cannot miss if we screw the skirting board straight down, and that defies the whole purpose of trying to soundproof the room. And this is what it actually will look like once it's mounted. You have your skirting board, the rubber holding it down, and as you can see, this movement, and once the skirting board is mounted, this movement will be held by the rubber. Skirting board is now complete. I have puttied the corners, and then they'll be sanded down lightly and then painted again, and all the holding screws will come out and puttied and painted as well at the same time. So it's all pretty much finished. Time to start to pack away all this, because all work is pretty much complete. Okay, so we're at the stage where we are installing the second door, and I've just undercoated it, so it makes it easier to paint once it's up there. So all the hinges are put in, the door lock, which is basically a passageway, there's no lock on it, so the internal door, you just open and close it without need to locking it. And we also undercoated the main door as well, and the frame being done. So we're just about there. So in the next hour or so we probably start installing it onto the door frame. And once that is complete, we'll have the two doors. The gap between the two door frames is now also sealed with silicone, as you can see there. The silicone stops any air gap coming through, and that goes all the way around. Finally, I do have my second door installed. It took me a while, but doors are one of those tricky things that you have to get it right, you know, because you only have about 3 or 4 millimeters to play around with along the edges. But I got it there, little bit of work I had to do with the frame to lift it up a bit on one side so it closes. So now I have it all screwed in. Please let me do the honor. So that's one door closed. And that's second door closed. Well, just about. I still have to put the handle and the latch on there, but other than that, it's all in. Once I guess the seals and everything comes in, it definitely will help with the sound. So I'm just going to go out and shout out for everybody and see how much we're going to get. Well, those two doors just about closed. I guess I'll find out how much of it came in. But just having two doors, we're not even tight closed and sealed around them, or even at the bottom of it. We'll see how much of it came through. And yes, the final milestone of this room is done. Now it's all left is to give it a couple of coats of paint for both doors, and it'll be it. And now, of course, I gotta paint the frame as well. So it's looking all good. Okay, first coat of paint done for the second door, as well as the first door. And as you can see, I've got the architrave in there glued as well. So just a bit of putty there, and they'll be finished off tomorrow. And I move in. C'est fini. Wow. Well, we'll see how the moving goes on. I'll do quick time-lapse videos of me moving the stuff here, and then I'll see if I can. I'll try to make as many videos as I can as I'm connecting the equipment in to describe a few things as I mentioned, but don't hold on to me, because I do have projects that I need to finish off, so I need to get my setup, as quick as I can, move from my current one to this one as soon as I can, because I've got work to do. I've got a few people waiting for me to finish their projects, so I'll try as much as I can. It's end of the day, it's about 8 p.m. and I've been working pretty much all day since 9 a.m. getting it all small bits and pieces finished and touch-ups and all those sort of things done, and that's it. Yeah, I'm exhausted. Time for rest for another day tomorrow.